Following these strategies, let me to score a 326.
I was enrolled in a BBA course and my friend suggested me about JIPMAT. What are the colleges which accept JIPMAT scores? What is the structure?
Admission process. Yes. Okay. So, hi guys. My name is Rudraksh and this is Alokit. We are first year IPM students in IIM Bodhgaya. Now, although I am a fresher, Alokit here is a dropper. So, we'll now know his story of it.
I was enrolled in a BBA course in a separate university and I was not happy about it. So I began searching for other options and my friend suggested me about JIPMAT, but I couldn't find much information about it.
Yes, this is something that I also have observed when I was preparing. So I was preparing for both IPMAT and JIPMAT, but whenever I wanted to know something about JIPMAT, there was not much information on the internet, either on the websites or on YouTube. Having observed this gap, I thought that maybe we should make a video on it. So this video is going to be just that. We are going to be answering a few questions on JIPMAT, the paper structure, the syllabus, and also some of the strategies that you can follow to ace this exam. Like Alokit, the first question that I want to ask you is like, what were your questions about the paper when you heard about that there is something called JIPMAT and you can get into IIMs with it?
So the first question which came in my mind was what are the colleges which accept JIPMAT scores? What is the structure?
Structure, or is it like the admission process?
Admission process.
Yes. Okay. We'll be tackling many such questions like this throughout the video. So thank you, Alokit, for featuring. Nice to know you. As Alokit was asking, the first question that comes to anybody's mind when we think about JIPMAT is which all colleges take this JIPMAT score. So you can get admitted to the IPM course of IIM Jammu and IIM Bodhgaya by getting this JIPMAT exam. Now, for IIM Jammu, the selection criteria is they give 95% weightage to your JIPMAT score and 5% weightage to gender diversity. For IIM Bodhgaya, 100% of it is your JIPMAT score. Both of these colleges don't take a personal interview to take in these 2 days. So talking about the structure of the paper, there are 100 questions which you have to answer in 2.5 hours. So you have 150 minutes to answer the 100 questions, which comes down to around 1.5 minutes per question. Now the paper is out of 400 and there is like negative marking. So you have to be careful to answer the questions correct, right? So you get a +4 for each correct answer and you get a -1 for each wrong answer. Now the paper is divided into 3 sections. You have QA, which is like basically math, and this has like 33 questions. You have DILR, which tests your LR skills or logical reasoning skills. This also has 33 questions. And you have VA, which tests your English. This has 34 questions, making 100 in total. Yes. So now talking about the syllabus of the paper. In QA, you have till class 10 math, right? So there's a lot of arithmetic in it. So you have ratios, you have profit and loss, you have percentages, you have geometry, you have numbers, many things. So basically what you need to do is go through the brochure that comes out for JIPMAT 2025. I think it'll come out around January, February, I'm not exactly sure. When it comes out, you need to go through the math syllabus and you need to make sure that each concept that's there in that syllabus, you go through it very properly, okay? Because unlike other exams where you need to be able to leave questions and like you need to be able to attempt questions which you can do, JIPMAT is a more easier paper. As a result, you need to do as many questions as you can accurately. So you need speed and you need accuracy. So you need to really go through the syllabus and be sure that every concept that's there, you are on top of it. Now talking about DILR, again, it's also a game of practice because in DILR, the kind of questions that come, they repeat. So go through the 2022 paper, 23 paper, 24 paper. You'll see that in 2025, there'll be many questions which are of similar pattern or even the same pattern. So if you have enough practice, you'll be able to do these questions. And questions come like, there are many questions on directions. There is questions on like relationships, like who is my mother's, uncles, brothers, son. So you'll have weird questions, but yes, such questions come. Talking about the English part, as I told before, you need to have a reading habit and you need to go through your class 10 English well. You do these 2 things, you are good to. Actually, what happens is that Sometimes people feel that because it's an easier paper, I don't need to prepare that much. That's not true. It's an easier paper for everybody. So you need to score as high as possible. For that, you also need to prepare that. Okay, so talking about the relative importance of the concepts that come in JIPMAT. As I said before, arithmetic has a lot of weightage. In the 2024 paper, you had around 15 to 17 questions which came from just pure arithmetic. You had ratio questions, you had percentages questions, you had time, work, distance questions. So you need to make sure to put a little more effort in the arithmetic part of the paper. Now, arithmetic was followed by algebra and geometry, right? Around 10-12 questions came from that as well. There were questions on circles, there was questions on quadratic equations. So you need to then pay more attention to the algebra and geometry part of the paper. Having done arithmetic, algebra, geometry well, if you do a little bit of trigonometry, that pretty much covers the QA section. For DILR, as I said before, that you just need more practice. But how do you practice? Well, there's a lot of focus on the data interpretation part. So do questions on graphs, do pie chart questions, graph questions, and also do many find the missing number questions. Because for find the missing numbered, you need to find a pattern, right? Now, a pattern can come in infinitely many number of ways. Now, as you practice questions, you will start to discover certain patterns are more preferred by the question makers. Now, once you get that right or you have a hunch, you will become faster in the paper. So this goes for find the missing number and the DILR part. I mean, if you practice it, you just become better. There is, I mean, I cannot definitely see what to practice so that you can get your maximum marks. Practice this section as a whole. Coming to the English part, there's a solid 12 to 15 questions on just reading comprehension, and hence my focus on reading. That at least make sure you read 1 hour per day, even if it's like comics or storybooks, right? Then comes around again 10 to 15 questions, not 10 to 15 but a little less, 6 to 7 questions on purely vocabulary. If you have not been a reader in the past, I think I can suggest one book which you will get, I mean you can get it free on the internet, I guess. It's called Word Power Made Easy. Now this book in a fun way teaches a lot of words in a short period of time if you read it well and follow the practices that the book suggests. So I would recommend this book to you. And yeah, so mainly for the reading comprehension part, read an hour or more per day. For the vocabulary part, read plus you can go through this book. For grammar, I think your education till class 10 should be enough. That's pretty much it if I have to talk about the syllabus and some strategies that you can follow. As we come to the end of this video, I would like to share some of the strategies that I followed when I was preparing for my JIPMAT paper. Following these strategies led me to score a 326 in my paper, which converted to a rank of roughly 20 or 21. Now, talking about the strategies, throughout my preparation, I made sure that I had enough sleep. So I made sure that I had at least 6.5, 7 hours of sleep daily so that my preparation was effective. The time I spent studying was effective. I know you have to balance your board studies and your entrance exam preparation. If you're giving IPMAT, JIPMAT, both, maybe you have to do that. But still, my personal belief was that I did not have enough sleep. Then whatever time I spent studying, only 60% of that would be effective. So this was one. Secondly, if you have to talk about some last minute, tips, as they say, I feel that one must be informed when giving any exam, right? So make sure that you go through the admit card, you go through the documents that are needed, you have your pens, pencils, whatever maybe. This is a CBT, it's a computer-based test. So you will, you just need your pencil for rough work. This is not, they don't have a OMR sheet or anything. But I have seen candidates not having the required documents, and as a result, being very agitated before the exam. They have to make last-minute calls. Then their parents, guardians have to, go back home and stuff like that. So make sure you don't make that mistake. Make sure you're informed about what is required and you have them with you. Secondly, once you get your paper, once the paper starts, if at any point of time you feel that you're getting overwhelmed, make sure you take a breath, right? You take a stop, you take a deep breath, calm your mind down. because your mind works best when it's calm, right? Be aware of the situation that I have limited time. I have to score as much as I possibly can. Don't get overwhelmed by that. So yeah, this was the few things that I had to say. I followed, and I hope that you prepare well and you get a good score and you come to this college as my junior. So yes, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it.